Welcome back to this special reporting. It is your girl Tabitha coming in with additional information in regards to George Santos' superseding indictment. A 23-count superseding indictment was filed in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York, charging George Anthony DeVolder Santos, better known as George Santos, the United States Representative for the 3rd District of New York, with 1 count of conspiracy to commit offenses against the United States, 2 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of making materially false statements to the Federal Election Commission, 2 counts of falsifying records submitted to obstruct the FEC, 2 counts of aggravated identity theft, and 1 count of access device fraud. In addition to the 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, 1 count of theft of public funds, and 2 counts of making materially false statements to the United States House of Representatives that were charged in the original indictment. United States attorneys for the Eastern District of New York allege that Santos is charged with stealing people's identities and making charges on his own donors' credit cards without their authorization, lying to the FEC and by extension the public about the financial state of his campaign. Santos falsely inflated the campaign's reported receipts with non-existent loans and contributions that were either fabricated or stolen. Santos allegedly led multiple additional fraudulent criminal schemes, lying to the American public in the process. The defendant, a congressman, allegedly stole the identities of family members and used the credit card information of political contributors to fraudulently inflate his campaign coffers. It is also alleged in the superseding indictment that Santos, who was elected to Congress last November and sworn in as the U.S. Representative for New York's 3rd Congressional District in January 7th, 2023, engaged in 2 fraudulent schemes, in addition to the multiple fraudulent schemes alleged in the original indictment. The first scheme is called the Party Program Scheme. During the 2022 election cycle, Santos was a candidate for the United States House of Representatives in New York's 3rd Congressional District. Nancy Marks, who pleaded guilty on October 5th, 2023, to related conduct, was the treasurer for his principal congressional campaign committee. DeVolder Santos for Congress. During this election cycle, Santos and Marks conspired with one another to devise and execute a fraudulent scheme to obtain money for the campaign by submitting materially false reports to the FEC on behalf of the campaign, in which they inflated the campaign's fundraising numbers for the purpose of misleading the FEC and National Party Committee and the public. Specifically, the purpose of the scheme was to ensure that Santos and his campaign qualified for a program administered by the National Party Committee, pursuant to which the National Party Committee will provide financial and logistical support to Santos's campaign. To qualify for the program, Santos had to demonstrate, among other things, that his congressional campaign had raised at least $250,000 from third-party contributors in a single quarter. To create the public appearance that his campaign had met that financial benchmark and was otherwise financially viable, Santos and Marks agreed to falsely report to the FEC that at least 10 family members of Santos and Marks had made significant financial contributions to the campaign, when Santos and Marks both knew that these individuals had neither made the reported contributions nor given authorization for their personal information to be included in such false public reports. In addition, understanding that the National Party Committee relied on FEC fundraising data to evaluate candidates' qualifications for the program, Santos and Marks agreed to falsely report to the FEC that Santos had loaned the program significant sums of money when in fact Santos had not made the reported loans, and at the time the loans were reported did not have the funds necessary to make such loans. These false reported loans included a $500,000 loan when Santos had less than $8,000 in his personal and business bank accounts. The credit card fraud scheme. In addition, between approximately December 21 and August 2022, Santos devised and executed a fraudulent scheme to steal the personal identity and financial information of contributors to his campaign. He then charged contributors credit cards repeatedly without their authorization. Because of these unauthorized transactions, funds were transferred to Santos's campaign, to the campaigns of other candidates for elected office, and to his own bank account. To conceal the true source of these funds and to circumvent campaign contribution limits, Santos falsely represented that some of the campaign contributions were made by other persons, such as his relatives or associates, rather than the true cardholders. Santos did not have authorization to use their names in this way. For example, in December 2021, one contributor texted Santos and others to make a contribution to his campaign, providing billing information for 2 credit cards. In the days after he received the billing information, Santos used the credit card information to make numerous contributions to his campaign and affiliated political committees in amounts exceeding applicable contribution limits without the contributor's knowledge or authorization. To mask the true source of these contributions and thereby circumvent the applicable campaign contribution limits, Santos falsely identified the contributor for one of the charges as one of his relatives. In the following months, Santos repeatedly charged the contributor's credit cards without the contributor's knowledge or authorization, attempting to make at least $44,800 in charges, and repeatedly concealed the true source of funds by falsely listing the source of funds as Santos himself, his relatives, and other contributors. What's that, Tabitha? We have comment from George Santos. Roll the clip.
Comment. I did not have access to my phone.
Prosecutors say you defrauded the American public. Will you resign?
What you guys are talking about? No, I will not. Excuse me.
They said that you stole people's identities. Did you steal people's identities? Did you commit identity fraud?
Are you still going to vote in the speaker's election?
What do you have to say to your constituents?
I will not. I have no comment. I was in conference like everyone else without my phone, so I have nothing to talk about. I need to take a look at my phone.
Did you commit large? That was a pretty basic question. Identity
That
fraud?
is no. Are you okay, sir? Yeah. I'm fine.
Did you charge to your credit card donors money? Did you use their credit cards to reward yourself? That's the allegation.
No. I will look at it.
Why should you be able to vote in the speaker's election? Such a key election when you've been charged with all these crimes.
Well, there you have it, folks. Should we receive any additional information into the lying schemes of George Santos, we will be sure to bring it in to you.